It feels so good.
So now we found
exactly.
the problem. There's grip. There's grip.
Yeah, there is plenty.
That's like half a second that you can find like easy. This is one of the most common mistakes, especially in beginners and intermediate racing drivers. In this video, I helped this student find over a second per lap in just a few attempts after we discussed his steering technique on corner entries, and I showed him some secrets to make sure he maximized the transition between braking, trail braking, and mid-corner steering. My name is Suelio Almeida. I'm a professional racing driver and coach and creator of the Motor Racing Checklist, the most popular racing technique online course with over 7,500 drivers registered. I hope you enjoyed this video.
That doesn't help much.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I know it's a small thing. I know it's just a spin, but like there is a reason you spun. What do you think you spun?
I think a combination of cold tires, but more so me getting on the gas earlier than I was supposed to. With too much sort of steering angle, I didn't straighten my steering.
Okay.
Not too sure if that's it.
I half agree with the cold tires one. I disagree with the throttle early. I think the timing was good. I completely agree with the steering. So just remember that as soon as you get back on power, when you touch the throttle, you are setting the minimum speed. That means that is the minimum speed you will reach at that corner. That means you should turn the most at that point. And as soon as you get on power and the car starts gaining speed, it will want to open up the arc nicely. Like you don't have to immediately open the steering. You just have to. Actually, as soon as you get back on power, you can even turn more the steering for a while and then start opening as the car gains speed. So the problem is not the steering when you got back on power. The problem is after. The problem is when your speed goes higher. So just remember that your exit has to be always an opening spiral. So you get back on power, you force it for half a second more, and then as soon as you start feeling that, okay, the car is gaining speed, then you relax your hands and let the car drift wide. You have to let it use all the track. I think you had the perfect timing there. You had the perfect acceleration, very good braking. I was about to say, oh my God, your driving is really good for 6 months. So everything was good on the entry. As soon as you got back on power, it was still good. You just needed to remember to become a passenger on the exit. Like, as soon as you get back on power, become a passenger. What do I mean with that? Look at what's happening with the car. It will want to go somewhere. You have to accept it. It's non-negotiable. Like it wants to go a little bit wider. So relax your hands, talk to the feedback, pay attention to the balance. The car is going to be loose, but through that looseness, it's gonna determine its line. It's gonna determine the line that it wants to take. And then you just let it go. Even if that means, if you get back on power too early, go to the grass. You realize that you're oversteering too much and the car is not going to stay on track, just go to the grass. That is still going to be better than spinning. So you only spun because you rejected what the car wanted. Like you kept turning too much, and then when the car started losing it a little bit, you kept turning for too long, like at around 75% of the corner. So 50% of the corner, you get back on power, you can still turn more. But as soon as it starts going around, then you have to let it flow wide. Let's try that again. Now it's time to show you his full lap before the whole explanation and development on this coaching session. So if you want, take your time to write down in the comments what you think he should improve, and then edit your comment with what you learned from this video. Okay. Let's take a break here. What do you think?
I think this last lap was somewhat decent. I don't know, you'd have to tell me. With everything I consume and watch, like, you know, all the stuff you offer, there's just so much things to process. So you have the experience to know that I'm making a particular mistake at turn 1, for example. With me, I'd have to do so many more laps to figure out what is not on the money, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I'm using the limit as much as I should. So the tire noise I'm not hearing, it's not as pronounced as it should be. Or maybe not so much that, but I'm not hearing it throughout all the phases of the corner. So you refer to the early entry, the early part of the corner, the mid part of the corner, and early exit and late exit. I'm not too sure on the naming conventions, but I'm not hearing it throughout those 4 stages.
I mean, you said exactly what I was gonna tell you. Like, you know, that's great. That's great. Like, you are indeed not using the limit, not getting to the limit consistently through all the phases of the corner. The only thing that I wrote literally one line watching you drive. You're under the limit on corner entry, and then you're over the limit mid-corner. And your tire sounds say that, your steering says that, your trail braking says that. Like, I sense the fear of turning the car on corner entry.
Yeah. Funny you mentioned the word fear. I just finished up a chapter now where you spoke about underdriving, and that's what I tend to do. I'm usually quite safe and consistent, but to find that pace, you mentioned that you need to overdrive. So I have been, it doesn't look like it here, but it's better than what it was. So that's where I struggle, is pushing just that little bit to get to that limit, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say too, like, I would definitely be your passenger in real life, because you tend to have a driving style that is very safe, because you're not on the limit on the extremes of the corner, which are the most dangerous parts. So this next step for you is indeed more risky, let's call it, because if you do it wrong, then you're gonna get entry oversteer, or you're gonna get late exit oversteer, like it happened on turn 1. So the main objective is for you to understand the grip transition so that you can stay on the limit between braking and mid-corner. So it's that corner entry phase, early entry phase, that's where I can't hear the tires at all. Now, we can then ask ourselves, what makes the tire make sound? It's the steering and the brakes, right? So those are the two only things that you can change to get more sound, to get more tires corrupt, to get more lateral load. You're just not turning the steering, like on the initial corner entry. And I would say that you're doing the exponential steering technique too much. Too much. Like, it's too, the curve is too distorted. You turn not enough on corner entry and then too much mid-corner. I'm gonna tell you, try to have a slightly more linear steering, where you actually turn a little bit more on corner entry. Get the car to dance. Like, if the car is too easily going into the corner, that means something's wrong. Another way you can quickly identify, especially in the simulator, is, let's say you're turning into horseshoe. That's turn 5, the long right-hander. There's plenty of time for you on corner entry after you start turning in to just turn more the steering and see if the car actually goes. If you turn more the steering and the car goes all the way to the inside, that's absolute proof that you can carry more speed on the next lap. So the whole benefit of identifying when you are under the limit on the steering or on the trail braking, or both, if you're under the limit, that means you can brake later and you can gain time there. A good thing for your driving is that you have exactly the same problem in every corner. That means if you understand that change, you're gonna gain time in every corner. That's amazing.
Okay, that's good.
Pay attention to the sound of the tires, but most importantly, remember the main objective. You want to bend the tires as much as possible for as long as possible, and that also includes the transition. I feel like your brake release, the whole money in motorsports is in that transition between braking and steering. If you drop the brakes too fast and you're not adding steering, now your total grip usage is going down from 100 to 50, and only after you add more steering, then you go back from 50 to 100. But if you remind yourself, for every % of brake pedal that I release, I have to add more steering, then now you have a better chance of keeping the grip limit at 100% usage. So that's the secret. It's just like the braking, from braking to turning, you're always pouring that liquid right from one cup to the other. You're never like pouring it to a third cup and then putting it back. Like that doesn't work. That is where it is. That's where your lap time is. Obviously, it's not that simple, because if you just change that, you're just gonna hit the inside grass on every corner. But that is gonna be a first step. It's gonna tell you, oh damn, I could have braked later, and then you're just gonna be able to brake later next time, until, and that is the main objective, until you start turning in and you feel that car is not gonna hit that apex. Like you get the feeling that you're missing it. Not because you're steering less, because you're steering and the car is gonna say, no, I'm gonna slide. And then now you have to dance with the car. So ideally you wanna get to that limit where you're barely hitting the apex and you're limited by inertia. If you're not limited by inertia, then you're not gonna hear the sound of the tires. If you're limited by inertia, then you're gonna maintain that speed and you're gonna be fighting for your life trying to slow the car down and turn it. And that's when you reach the real limit. That difference. So let's say now, like the first exercise is going to be just turn more the steering a little bit more on corner entry and see how the car behaves, right? As soon as you realize that, you're going to have to carry a microscopic amount of extra speed, because it's very precise. You're not going to be able to brake super late, but like that is precisely the differential in speed that's going to account for like a second per lap.
So if I'm on peak brake pressure, ideally the steering wheel needs to be straight. The minute I start releasing, I should be turning, I should be releasing brake pressure, obviously. So what you're saying is I need to turn slightly earlier, in line with my dropping my brakes.
I don't know if necessarily turning slightly earlier, because you seem to be doing the right lines. You're just not on the limit on those lines. So right away, I would say just try to brake slightly later, so that you start struggling to hit the apex. Because as soon as you start struggling to hit the apex, now we're gonna deal with different problems. Okay, am I trail braking too much? Am I getting ABS? Am I oversteering? Am I understeering? You're gonna have 7 different problems. But let's get to that first, and then we're gonna see what problems will show up. But don't change the line. Just carry a little bit more speed and feel like you're struggling to turn into the car.
Okay, sounds good.
Don't be afraid of turning the steering too. See? Not at the limit at all there. Like if you turned more, you would have hit the wall.
Yeah.
It feels very comfortable because you have more control over the line.
So that means I can brake slightly later then.
Correct. Yeah, let's try that. See? Even more. There's still more grip there. Brake even later. Better.
I see.
But it was still there. You still, for a while there, you stopped turning. Did you feel that?
I did.
Turn. Power. There you go, 2/10. And the exit was easy.
Yeah. A lot more comfortable than.
Way better. Same thing everywhere. Keep the car bending laterally. Bend. See, you got a little bit too much steering, like you mid corner, but on entry it was already better. Same thing, not enough. You can turn way more. On entry. Get the car, like it's almost like in a way, I'm telling you to kind of hustle the car a little bit more. Like find the limit on entry by turning too much and then dial back from there, rather than being afraid of turning and never reaching the limit and never noticing it. Same thing here. Turn a lot to the left and then a lot to the right. Okay, there we found some understeer mid-corner. That's good. Yeah. But on entry, you turned in a little bit too early, so you couldn't turn more. I saw your steering was shaking because you were like, damn, if I turn more, I'm going to hit the grass. So now we found
exactly.
the problem. Okay, now just turn in a little bit later for the bus stop. And that's how you see how forcing the car more gives us so much extra information that we can use after.
Yeah.
Turn. 3/10.
Oh.
Be careful not to turn too much mid corner. Turn more on entry. Yeah, a little bit under the limit on entry still there. The sound disappeared. Now turn a lot here. Turn early. Go. See? There's grip. There's grip.
Surprised I'm still in. Yeah. There is plenty.
That's like half a second that you can find like easy. Now for the bus stop, turn in a little bit later so that you give yourself room to use the steering. Much better. You might need to touch the brakes like 1% when you change direction just to get that extra rotation to the right. But you found a 10th on entry. Nice. Still free time on exit there just by getting back on power a little bit earlier. Turn. There you go. That's it. It's way better. Brake later here. Turn. Power. Yeah, the exit is too easy here. That was good. Like, it felt like you were overdriving, but if you got back on power there, it would be good. Send it. Power. Now, same turn-in point from last lap to the bus stop. As soon as you change direction, 1% brakes just to get that extra turn to the right. So you don't run wide on the exit of the bus stop. There you go.
Oh. The turn one extra steering is showing me showing me how much more grip there is everywhere, not just there. So I think that's making a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Turn.
Fuck. That feels so good. That was a bit too early, I think.
Nice. Little bit under the limit there. Under the limit. Just kind of like afraid of steering.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, like, in this whole coaching session, I have not seen you lose the car on entry. Like,
Exactly,
you never, like, maybe a little bit of understeer, but like, honestly, even through understeer, you found time. So that shows
you just how much under I was.
Exactly. That shows exactly how under the limit you were on all corner entries. Nice. Oh, you forgot to relax your hands there. There was so much room to let it go. Yeah. No, the throttle, again, it was good. You just needed to let it go. It wanted to go right, and you kept pushing it to the middle of the track. That's why you lost the rear.
My hands did tense up. I think because it's foreign, it's foreign to me now. I'm just... Okay, that was shit.
Okay. Brake a little bit later. Go as left as you can on the first apex. Could have got back on power a little bit earlier there. Yeah. You know, there's like 2/10 to find on this exit. Better. You could have felt that and corrected a little bit earlier, but that's good. Power early. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh,
It's
good.
okay.
That's still a second faster.
I just want to see a 43 because that's what I've been trying to get all week. So
Nice. Perfect.
there we go.
Perfect. Man, honestly, I literally don't have anything else to say. You have this homework, get used to this, keep doing 43s consistently, and then we could start talking about like detailed stuff, like the change of direction at the bus stop, or the engine braking, the downshift, all those little things that add like an extra tenth or two on your lap. But this change, I mean, literally a second per lap. In a 20 lap race, that's 20 seconds. In an endurance race, that's minutes. So
It's massive.
yeah, it's massive. Like, it's really, really good stuff. And now the sound of the tires, consistent. It's always there.
I'm starting to pay attention to that. I can hear it a little bit more on entry. So just to recap, if you don't mind, on entry, when we started, the tire noise or the limit, me being on the limit, wasn't there as much as it was on exit. So on exit, it's
Mid
To some
corner,
extent,
not
okay.
exit, mid corner.
okay, mid corner. Okay, so basically the only change I've done now is, so by you saying you getting to the apex earlier than you should be, lets me know that I can brake a little bit later and just steer more the car towards the apex.
Correct. In a way, you should be aiming for the apex and missing it. It's almost like, imagine that there's like turn 1, you should aim for the wall and fail. That's the fastest way of doing it. Because you're trying to turn the car as much as possible to the direction of the wall, but because the car is carrying the perfect speed, it's never gonna get there. Inertia is not gonna let it go there. And if you ever try to turn more and you realize, oh wow, the car is now going more towards the inside, you can always use that as a signal that you can carry more speed next lap.
Makes sense.
And that was a solution for you.
Awesome stuff, man.
No, good stuff. Very good, bro. Very good driving. 6 months of experience. That's amazing. That's really good stuff. Like this driving here, I don't know what your I rating is, but like you got close to, like, I would say 3K I rating, if not more. So
Really?
it's really good. Yeah, that's really good driving there. If you can consistently drive like you just did, that's 3K driving or better.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, man. Thanks goes to you. All your content is what really helped.
Thank you, man. Thank you for your trust.
The racecraft, the book, everything. It's just been good. I'm enjoying my journey. So thank you.
Thank you so much, man. Have fun. Stay in touch. See you, man.
Thanks again. Cheers, man.
If you want to be a better racing driver, this ad is for you. You don't need more seat time. You need a better method to maximize your practice time. The Motor Racing Checklist is my flagship advanced online course, and our academy has now 11,000 students. This course will cut your lap time deficit in half in just 28 days. And if it doesn't, you get your money back. You will learn how to think like a fast driver and how to focus on the right things so you can stop guessing and start improving.